Hey guys, I decided to make a video guide about Naraka Blade Point from the perspective of a casual player to as a casual player. So first of all, I want to go over some credential about me. I've been playing this game since it first launched. So far I've invested about 1,600 hours into it, but I still consider myself a casual player because one, I do not have a dedicated teammate I play with. Second is I feel like I am not most talented at fighting games. And third is I do not have the best PC and best internet. So I feel like my situation is applicable to a lot of casual players. Here's my stats. So for example, let's look at the last season I played at. I achieved the Sura rank for solo, and I have also a Sura rank for trails. I think those two, for rank modes. I think those two game modes are the most relevant to majority of players. And another thing that if you want to kind of figure out where you're at in terms of the skill level, another thing you can look at is for the seasonal stats, you come here and look under the average damage for a particular game mode. So my average damage is 11,000 for trail, and for solo it's a little bit under. So basically, if your match damage is over 10k, then you are basically Asura ranked. You can hold your own pretty well in Asura rank, and that's a really good indication of where you stand on the ranks. Here's a chart of the Naraka's rank. You have bronze, silver, gold, platinum, solar, imperial, and I forgot what this is, and Asura. So basically, here is the match average damage. If you are gold and below, you're mostly fighting against bots, so it really doesn't matter how much damage you do. And starting from platinum is where you will see real players regularly, and usually people that stuck in platinum, they are doing less than 6k damage per match. And then solar is where you are kind of floating around 6k damage per match, and kind of this is where people struggle the most, because if you have solar rank, you will be matched up against Asura players pretty regularly. And that's where kind of most people have trouble with, because the skill gap between this and that is huge. Hopefully, after watching this video series, you will understand certain tips and tricks that will allow you to make the breakthrough to kind of do more damage and then be able to rank up, basically. And another thing that can help you determine basically how good a player is you come here, if they allow you to see it, you come look at the avatar, and then you go to seasonal rewards, and you will basically the game will give you an avatar icon depending on your rank for every season since your account was created. So basically, for example, the first season I was silver rank, and I was solar rank for the next 3 seasons. Then I became Asura on the 4th season, and for those 2 seasons I didn't play the game at all, so it basically it just let it fall. Then I went back to on rival Asura for trails, and then Asura for trails. And last season I was Asura for solo and Asura for trails. So basically, as you can see, I was having trouble struggling at the game for the first 4 seasons. Solar rank is kind of where majority of the player gets stuck at, and once I made the breakthrough and understood certain things, then it really allowed me to kind of better myself. And I feel like that's something talented players do not relate to casual players, because these things come naturally to them. Like they are good, but they cannot explain to you why they are good. And so I think for me, I was a bad player, and being able to kind of make the breakthrough allows me to share with other people as how to become better at the game. This video series is dedicated to that. The next thing I want to show you is actually about my credential is actually the frame rate and my ping. So if you look on the top left corner, my frame per second is around 240 frame per second, and if I look on the right corner, my ping is around 60 to 70 milliseconds. I have my visual setting to be turned to low, basically for everything. I try to turn everything off, everything is lowest, so I can get a higher frame rate. This frame rate is not stable, meaning if I'm actually fighting, the frame rate will fall to something like around 150, but it generally never did below 100. So basically, in this game, frame rate does make a difference. So if you're playing the game at like 70 frames per second versus if you're playing the game at 300 frames per second, you will be slower at charging blue. I'll discuss that in detail later on. So it does give you advantage if you have higher frame rate, and it's important. And the ping also make a huge difference. So basically, there is a cutoff point. If your ping is 30 millisecond or less, you will also be faster on certain things. And the next cutoff point is around 70 millisecond. So basically, if you are able to achieve kind of similar frame rate and pings, then my guy will be more relevant to you. So obviously, if you have higher frame rate, lower ping, some things will be easier for you. And I think my frame rate and ping is probably relevant to majority of the players who are kind of really interested in this game and want to do well in this game.